Hi everyone, welcome. It's FPLMattDay here, and I'm back with a fantasy Premier League video, my FPL free hit for game week 34. This is the squad, and starting 11, I feel is going to be one of the best free hits you can play if you are using this chip for game week 34, which is a blank game week. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button now, give the video a like, and get any comments, questions, or thoughts in ahead of this week's blank game week. So we've got the FA Cup semi-finals. There's going to be no fixture for Manchester City, Arsenal, Aston Villa, or Crystal Palace. Nottingham Forest are in the semi-finals, but they do have a fixture in this game week, but it's going to be played all the way at the end of the game week. So one thing to be cautious of is in case there's any Forest injuries in that FA Cup semi-final or suspensions that may carry over. So just make sure you've got some adequate bench coverage if you're considering Forest assets. So let's share screen straight away to begin with. I'm going to start with goalkeeper. So whilst we're on the talk of Forest players, I've actually got Celso in here. As a goalkeeper, I just look at it and think best performing goalkeeper in FPL this season. It's a great opportunity for managers on a free hit to get him in there. Forest keep their defence nice and tight. They are playing against Brentford, and we're not sure if they're going to be on a high or a low after the FA Cup semi-final where they play Man City. But with the amount of saves and how consistent Forest have been, it wouldn't put it past me if they come out and win this game by a goal to nil, and he always ends up on the saves and the bonus. So it's a good opportunity to get a good, solid, consistent goalkeeper into your lineup if you're on the free hit. So let's go into the defence. In game week 33 showed there was a lot of clean sheets, which is where most of the points come from. But I've got a back three, which is very attacking minded. Aït-Nouri there usually plays in that attacking third for Wolves. I don't think there's a guarantee that Wolves keep a clean sheet. It's Wolves. But there is the potential for attacking returns with Aït-Nouri. Leicester, despite all their troubles, obviously went on a run of not scoring. Have broken that duck recently. They got a couple of goals against Brighton a few weeks ago. So I think there's a chance Leicester score. But you Aït-Nouri in there on a free hit for his attacking returns. Similar to Robinson, I don't think Fulham have been watertight at the back, especially in away games. Southampton are already down, so there's that freedom there as well for them to kind of attack and play without any pressure, similar to Leicester. But again, in the instance of Fulham putting in a professional performance, Robinson's pretty good when it comes to the bonus points. A lot of people will be asking about Sessegnon. He's very attacking. He's in that front three. He would have been my preference. But there's just a few rumours Harry Wilson might come back into the lineup. So I think Robinson is one of these safer bets. And then Trippier on the other side was brilliant in FPL only a couple of years ago. Looks like he's back in that Newcastle side. You get that little addition of set pieces from Kieran Trippier playing against Ipswich at home. So strong fixture for Newcastle. I think we'll see a lot of triple ups on Newcastle for this game week. And I think if you can get that Newcastle triple up right this weekend, it could be huge. And that could be a difference between your free hit and someone else's free hit. Another midfield. Sticking on the Newcastle theme, Jacob Murphy. I think just for consistency, what we know he can do in these home fixtures, it probably just about edges it over Barnes for me. Barnes is showing the form. But I feel like there's maybe more of a chance Barnes comes off earlier or maybe misses out on the start because of Anthony Gordon returning. Anthony Gordon could also be a good differential, but we're not necessarily confident there's going to be a start there for him. Murphy showing the form, some really good points over his last few games, especially at home. Luis Diaz, again, playing in that centre forward role for Liverpool in a bit of a free role in that front three. At home to Spurs, who they're done for the season. There's a very small chance Spurs even get anything out of this game. They've got the Europa League next week. And I think Luis Diaz, he's got to be in there with that double up there with Mo Salah, captain's armband. I think it's a very safe bet, but I also think it's a pretty sensible bet because Spurs will concede at least 2 goals, in my opinion. I can see that one being a 3-1 to Liverpool type of game, maybe even a 3-0. I just don't see a world in which Spurs can kind of go out there and do anything. I don't think their heads in this fixture. Liverpool will want to get the league done, and I think there'll be a bit of a party atmosphere for Liverpool, and it would just be too dangerous to go out into that fixture without both of those players, in my opinion, because Diaz in that front three with Salah, there's just goals to be had. Could be a couple of other opportunities with the likes of Gakpo potentially, but I think that should just about make it safe if you go with those two. And then Palmer's in there. I think if we look at a free hit, if you're going to go with the likes of Diaz and Murphy, who aren't on pens, you probably need another set piece penalty taker just in case Chelsea get that penalty against Everton. Plus, he got 4 goals in this fixture last season, I believe, or 4 returns anyway. And I think you've got to kind of diversify your assets as well. You've got to try and get as many players in each fixture as possible. You don't want to be in a situation where you've kind of gone all your players into 2 or 3 games and then those results go completely sideways. But that's the midfield. We'll go into the front three. Whether or not this is template, I'm not too sure. This, again, there's probably a glaring miss here with one player missing, which I know there's going to be comments on. But we'll talk about that in a second. Isak, I think, has to be in there. He's lost a bit of form. He's not getting the big scores, but I just think he's just too important. He could come out this Ipswich game, Newcastle, 3-4 goals, and there'll be some sort of involvement from Isak. I'm sure of it. Likewise, Raul Jimenez, I think with Southampton already being down, there's a big opportunity. He's on pens as well. And then Danny Welbeck, I think if you're looking for that differential, at home to West Ham, another team really underperforming, Graham Potter going back to Brighton. Welbeck scored in the last game week as well. I think there's a big potential to go different from Welbeck instead of Cunha. And Cunha, great pick, great fixture. Hasn't hit the returns lately. I know he's coming off the back of a ban. There's been a bit of controversy with him looking to leave Wolves. Strand Larson, sort of the one that's been in form for Wolves as well. So I think if you can go against him, or you've got the guts to go against Cunha, a Welbeck or a Raul Jimenez, I think could pay dividends. At the same time, you could swap Welbeck out for Cunha, and you could go with that Cunha, Isak, Raul front three. I think it'll be fine. Either way, I can see there being a lot of goals in the forward lines for this game week. And we'll go to the bench because in the likelihood that some of these players don't play, or you just want to change it up pre-deadline, then you still need a strong bench and a free hit. And I've gone with Leno. So it gives you that option to move your keeper if you're not too sure on Forest. Mbeumo, who's coming off a great game week. Someone, again, if you want some players to play on that last game of the game week, then you've got Mbeumo in there. Kirkez. This team definitely is missing a Bournemouth player in that lineup. Evan Nilsson, Cliver are definitely options. Man United, again, they're like Spurs. They're thinking about that Europa League. And Cucurella, who's got some really strong points in home games this season. So we'll go to this lineup. And here it is. It's got an expected points of 54.9, which isn't too bad. I'm not sure if it's going to let me optimize the team, but let's make a couple of changes. So we go Sels to Leno. I go Mbeumo instead of Palmer. Actually reduces the points when you do that. Let's go from Welbeck to Cucurella. Again, it reduces the points. And then Kirkez for... Okay, let's go Cucurella. And then we'll go Jimenez out. And we'll make a move to Cunha. It does increase the points there. There wouldn't be enough in the bank in my team. You'd have to change the bench there. Maybe go Welbeck here for Kirkez. So it gives you 57.2. So it can maximize you if you go for this free hit here on the screen, and maybe go Mbeumo out. and Palmer in. 58.5. Maybe Robinson out, Cucurella in for the home fixture. 58.3. So you'd probably want to prefer a Robinson in there. So this is a free hit that gives you a better expected points of 58.5. If we remove Cunha and go back with our original choice of Raul Jimenez, I think this gives you what I feel is a very good diversified side for game week 34. You've got someone in the Brighton fixture, in the Fulham fixture, the Newcastle fixture, the Liverpool Spurs fixture, the Wolves fixtures, the Chelsea fixtures. And then if you want to make a change, you can even diversify into the Forest at Brentford fixture as well. So there you have it. There's a few options for free hit 34, some of the key players, the picks as well. Let me know what you think in the comments. Please hit that subscribe button. You can message me anytime at FPLMattDay on Instagram or Twitter with your teams if you want any advice or thoughts ahead of this week's blank game week. Get your comments in, as I mentioned before. And again, one last time, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And I'll see you all in the next one, which will very likely be for a Champions League semi-final video. If not, bye for now and good luck for game week 34.